agriculture. That's our part of our whole project today. And throughout the years, especially now, there's been an increase in population, which means there's need for more foods. And in the future, that's going to be a problem because there will most likely will be scarcity around the whole world. Also, there's very unhealthy diseases due to unhealthy eating habits like type 1 and 2 diabetes, cancer, and high blood pressure. Nearly $173 billion are used to treat people with obesity a year. And a way that we can help that is through AI in the future. By creating something that can help you detect if the food you're eating is unhealthy. And also robots can help us in agriculture in general. If somebody is sick or unwell, there can be robots that can work overtime for people who can't. And for the argument of that what happens if there's unemployment because of the robots? There will not be, because the robots will only be used for when it's needed to, not for daily use. So it creates a stability in unemployment because there is not a thing that is just set. It's something that we can develop throughout.
And with the use of AI, it helps get the work done quickly and efficiently, so that humans don't have to worry about their food and their crops, thinking about, oh, how am I going to get this done? What am I going to do? And having to worry about it. AI is here to help us, and it can help us make better food and organic foods to get rid of the nitrates and bad chemicals that are being produced. And for example, we have this.
So here we have something called a green test, and it's a little portable water and food radiation tester, and it tests the nitrate content inside certain foods. As you can see here, we've got fruits and we've got water. So I'm just going to take it out for you guys to demonstrate. Thank you. So you just got to turn it on, and the thing about it is that it's very small and compact, and it's simple to use. You've got the fruit, the meat, the water, the fish, and the vegetables. These are all the types of foods that you can test. So we're just going to go in with the fruit. We've got a banana here, so we're just going to test that. So we have to take off the green top, and we're just going to insert it in the banana. I probably should have did that. Wait, I messed up, sorry. So here we can see that the banana has a 290 nitrate level, which is a little elevated, but it's still edible, and it just suggests to eat in moderation. But this can be helpful for those who don't really know where to start in healthy eating and things like that, and also for those with food anxiety, things like that. And this is just a great way to start with AI in agriculture. Since we have this already developed, we can start working our way up to testing if things are either high in salt content or just things that are healthy and unhealthy in general.
The great thing about this green test, is that it's also available in a mobile app where you can connect it through Bluetooth, and instead of using the little screen, you can go right ahead and use it from your phone anywhere you want. Just connect it to the Bluetooth. And over here we have Nandy, she's going to explain her part of the project.
Hi, my name is Nandy, and today I will be presenting the Robotic Hand. So, in our world today, there's a lot of people who whether they have been born or with genetics or with injuries, don't have a hand, and also with animals too. And we know that one of the alternatives for the people who doesn't have a hand is to buy a prosthetic hand. But a step back of this is that buying a prosthetic hand can be a lot of money. So I made a model of like a costable robotic hand that can hold lightweight objects. So as you can see, let me demonstrate for you guys. When I pull the strings, it helps to simulate the muscles to contract. So you just put the robot next to the object that you want to lift, and then you just pull the strings, and then you just lift it, and it lifts the objects. So, so with this, um, with this, it helps with the people who doesn't have a hand, and we would like to further develop it for animals and other stuff like that.
My name is Brian Zelaya, and we're here talking about pyrolysis. When we came into the chemistry science symposium, we wanted to speak on renewable energy and the global energy crisis that's going on in the world right now. So I'm pass it over to Nathaniel, and he's going to speak more about that.
To speak more about the global energy crisis, essentially in the world after the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of energy has been increasing in prices, but also decreasing in availability. So it's not proportional. So we want to be able to create something that can help solve that problem. And if you're wondering, the project itself, it melts plastic, and through this will travel, and it will end up as fuel that can be used for multiple different things. And the reason why we chose to use plastic is because billions tons of plastic are created annually, and that's only increasing with the rising population. And that plastic, it isn't recycled as much as it should be. And by using this, we can recycle more of it, which will not only help the environment, but will help the economy as well. And I'm going to pass it on to Brian to talk more about how the project itself works.
All right, to build off what he said, pyrolysis, it works as you melt plastic, it reverts the plastic into its basic form as fuel. So as the world continues to evolve, more fossil fuels are being used, and renewable energies are going to be needed. So as he said, we're going to need in the future a new source of energy. So this is why we considered the use of plastic. Plastic is all around us, and everybody's throwing out plastics, not recycling it, and it just ends up in an everyday trash can everywhere. So instead of wasting it and ending up in the sea, we're able to use it and turn it into a fuel that can be used in the future. When we actually tested it out, we were able to extract some fuel, but it also came with some negatives. It actually released some carbon dioxide, which is obviously a greenhouse gas and very harmful to the atmosphere. So we considered using AI to identify the different gases that are used and released to eventually decompose it and turn it back into its basic forms, carbon and oxygen. So I'm going to pass it over to Nathaniel. He can end it off.
And basically he summed most of it up. With this is just a small scale of how this would work in the future. But by expanding it, we'll be able to help millions of people and help the world overall. And that's all.
Hi again, my name is Brian, and we are here talking about drone technology. So throughout the year, we've explored many different types of drones. We've explored these remote-controlled ones, these handheld ones, and we've also programmed a drone Lightshow that we're going to demonstrate in a little bit. But they're going to speak more on actually flying it and how he programmed it. So I'm going to pass it over to Dominique, where she's going to talk about the handheld remote-controlled ones.
Hi, my name is Dominique, and I'm going to show you how these two drones work. First, we have the Firefly drone. This drone is controlled by a hand motion control, where you put it on your hand and you control it with your fist. And it's at first it's not as difficult as it sounds like to use, but you would have to have control over your hand more than usual, so you can't really move it too much because it's really, really sensitive, and it crashes all the time. So we over the years we tried to learn how to use these because these were hard to use, but for the most part it's a really good drone to use when you want to display a drone to other audiences. These M1 drones. They're controlled by these controllers here. These are the batteries, and you charge them with small chargers that are over there. You put the battery here, and you would turn it on first, and then connect it with the controller. And these drones are, for me, the best drones to use because if they drift, you could always fix it with these arrows right here. So if it's going too much to the right, you could always press a button so it could go to the left, so it could be stable. These drones also have lights. They have blue and green lights, and they also flicker. So if you want to put on a little show, just like these are a good way like to demonstrate as well as these. I'm gonna pass the microphone over to Nathaniel.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel, and the drones you see on the stage, we use them for our light shows. And how it works is we download a software on our computers, and then we have to connect the software to these 4 poles. What they are base stations, and they serve as like an online fence or barrier for the drones. So if one were to go out of control and fly past them, no one would be hurt because they would automatically shut off from going past them. And for the drones, we program the movements as different shapes or speeds and colors to make up the show. And yeah, that's it.
Hi, my name is Amari Walker at the Academy Charter CTE High School in Uniondale, and I'm part of the CTE medical pathway. And for our project, we decided to discuss the topic of AI in healthcare and how advancements in technology can lead to the shaping tomorrow's medicine. So the entire agenda for our project was basically to show how AI would not remove human interactions, but only enhance the capabilities of medical providers for the betterment of healthcare itself. So just to start off, me and Nia are going to talk a little bit about telemedicine, which is basically the remote diagnosis and treatment for many healthcare problems.
My name is Nia Harris, and I'm an 11th grade student in the medical assisting program here at the Academy Charter High School. And for our telemedicine project, basically to explain telemedicine, it's a way for physicians to connect with their patients remotely, kind of like Zoom, through a laptop, phone, or any other type of technology. And patients who can't leave their house for whatever the reason may be can connect with them, and they would use this basically. For example, it's a stethoscope. It's called a stethoscope, and a patient is given this by a physician to use at home through their remote appointment. And what it does is the patient uses it to take their heartbeat like this, and it records the sound and it sends it to the physician remotely, and they could hear the sounds and make sure they don't have any problems. Basically exactly what they would do if they were in the doctor's office, except they're doing it through technology and at home.
So basically, telemedicine just makes the job for both patients and healthcare providers easier. We also discussed a lot more topics like 3D printing, TytoCare, and AI within healthcare. So now my peers are going to tell you guys a little bit about SnakeCam and how it can be used for the advancements in technology.
We are presenting the SnakeCam. In medical terms, this is referred to as an endoscope or a boroscope. As we can see here, this is used to examine and see the insides and the internal organ activity. Examples that it can be used to determine infections or diseases found inside of a human. In this case, we're using a pig to demonstrate it. As we know now, hospitals use procedures like surgeries or opening of the bodies, and unfortunately, sometimes that can not work out. So with the camera, this prevents long-term damages and the risk of dying. So with this camera, it helps and shows like the internals and diseases or infections that we can find out. Also, if we look on the screen, the data that can be taken from this is photos or videos. So from here, we can see the inside, and after that, we can examine the insides and determine whether it has a disease or infection inside of the pig. As we can see here, she's inserting the camera inside of the pig's mouth. And inside, you can see the internals and the organs and everything. From there, this camera here, we can take pictures or videos and then examine it. This camera can be inserted either through the anus or the mouth, and we have 2 examples of the frog and the pig here. And from there, you can see the throat, the stomach, everything in there. And then, yeah, that's it.
My name is Samir Glover.
Hi, I'm Ernestine Doctor.
Hello, I'm Brian Bertio.
And today we'll be presenting 3D printing in the medical field. So 3D printing in the medical field will be, well, the uses are bioprinting for surgery, 3D anatomical models, and you could use it for digital dentistry as well. And then you can also make medical devices, and they'll help with drugs and like to shape the doses and stuff. And so like there are like challenges to it and stuff, but there are also different materials that you can use. So materials are plastic, metal, biome clear resin, bio ink, hydrogels, etc., etc. This one that we have currently, this one uses the plastic. And right now we already have printed a finger. So yeah. And also we have a full hand already made. That took 8 hours to make because you have to print every single part individually so that it'll all like come together in the end. And then there are some challenges to using this. So basically you have to train your employees to use it. You have to like buy all the materials, expensive, training stuff. So
One major benefit about 3D printing is that it can be fully personalized and customized to the patient's need. It also provides better and quicker recovery times for a patient, which is a very major part of the healthcare. Patients need to be able to recover faster and be back to health in time.
Now, moving on to the future. Currently, 3D printers are not that regulated by the FDA. So we are hoping that more into the future, the FDA would start adding more regulations to 3D printing, and that 3D printing will be used more commonly in every healthcare facility.
TytoCare is when a patient has their appointments with their doctors at their own comfort of their homes. The reason for that is because since the pandemic of COVID-19, we weren't allowed to be near people from 6 feet, and they think it's safe to be at home. So they came up with a new name. They came up with telehealth to be able to be at your own house, to be able to call your doctors and have the appointments from there.
There's also people who are afraid of going to the doctor's office, especially after the pandemic. People are afraid of getting sick. And there's also people who can't really go outside due to illnesses. They have very sensitive and weak immune systems. So telehealth is a better option and a better alternative than actually having to leave their home. So today we're going to be demonstrating the use of TytoCare on my friend here. So the great thing about TytoCare is that it's accessible from your cell phone. So this is my personal phone, and I'm able to access TytoCare off of it. So this is what it looks like. We have the screen or camera here, and as we can see, there's many different features. There's many different features, and they can also be seen there. And we have the tongue depressor, the otoscope, and the stethoscope here, and these are the probes for them. They are disposable, so this is better for hygiene purposes. So I'm going to start by taking her temperature, and everything that's on the screen of the TytoCare can be seen here as well. So all I have to do, I just have to point it at her forehead, and it gives me an accurate number of her temperature, which is 98.2 degrees Fahrenheit. I can also do things such as skin exams, which I can see a good quality picture of my patient's skin. And this is for people who have, concerns about their skin, if they have a rash or anything like that. They can just send a picture and have their doctor look at that.
Hello, so I am Embark, and this is my partner, Nandy. So today we're going to present the impact of AI in the cytology field. And the presentation will be on 2 parts. I will be presenting everything about a cell, like inside the cells, and my partner is going to present the impact of AI in the cytology field. So to begin with my presentation, I would like to present those 3D model print that we did about the cells. They contains every part of an actual human cell. Here, as you can see, there's like all the organelles inside the cell. We have the mitochondria here. We have the nucleus. We have the centriole. We have the ribosome. Those little ball here. The lysosome here. The endoplasmic reticulum. So we are going to go in each organelles more profoundly to see like what all of them are about. We're going to start with the cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm is like a jelly-like texture that contains all the organelles. This is like what holds them into places. And we have the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cells. So without the mitochondria, there is no energy inside the cell. There is also the nucleus. So as everyone can know, the nucleus is the brain of the cell. It's like our brain, but it's directing all organelles and telling them what all of them are supposed to do. Like, for example, if mitochondria need to produce more energy, it will tell mitochondria, do more energy. And whatever there is a need of, it will tell them to do it. We have next, we have the lysosome, which produce enzyme, and the enzyme are very important in the human system because we have enzyme for everything. We have enzyme to digest proteins. We have enzyme to digest lipids and carbohydrates. We have the ribosome who produce proteins. We have the Golgi apparatus who transport the proteins. We have the plasma membrane who protects the cells. So you must be wondering, what is the impact of AI in the cytology field? Why is the cytology field so important? It's because the cytology field is about the study of cells. And cells are very important in the human body and for all living things, because all living things are all living things are made from cells. That's why it is so important. And so AI helps in the cytology fields to detect what's going on inside the cells, to detect what kind of disease is going on inside of cells. And this is what my partner is going to explain in her presentation.
What is cytology? Cytology or cytopathology is the study of cells, their origin, their structure. Because if there is an abnormality in the cells, then there is disease that are present. AI, or artificial intelligence, is the branch of computer science that requires human intelligence. So AI basically performs tasks that a human normally would. So now you may ask me the impact of AI in the cytology field. Well, AI helps cytology to become more efficient because now we can have more accurate cytology tests. For example, there are details that human may miss, but AI would not miss, which can help with the accurate. Another example of how AI can help in the cytology field is detection of breast cancer. As you know, breast cancer is a disease that affects millions of people every day. So how AI helps with that is that AI analyzes memory graphs of women with dense breast tissue, and if there is like a little spot in the memory graph, then that's where the cancerous cell is. Another example is the detection of skin cancer. Skin cancer also is a disease that affects millions of people. And one of the reasons AI can detect it is by using our smartphones. AI can identify skin lesions, which are skin cells that can indicate that this person has been affected with the skin cancer. Another reason is the identification of blood cells. AI can help with identifying blood cells and identifying abnormalities. If there is abnormalities in one of the blood cells, then we know that there are diseases that are present. Also, there are some materials that are used in the AI. For example, we have AI-enabled microscopes, which demonstrate the potential for more timely and accurate cancer detection. Another material that is used is an artificial neural network model, which can be trained to predict the shape of a vortex, which are these in a vortex mixture for different conditions using experiential data. So those are basically some examples of how AI can impact us in the cytology field, because we know that the cytology field is an important thing. Just like my partner said, we are all the building block of cells, so we are made up of cells. So it is our job to help protect ourselves and find new ways of how to prevent those diseases from other people. So thank you for listening to our presentation.